Coming up on the McVews, the end was almost nigh, why the world held its breath in terror. Penis Morgan is a cheesy bellend, and the Director General of the BBC serves Scotland a shit sandwich. Hello, you're watching the McVews, because the BBC talks pish. Panic screamed through the world with fears that the apocalypse was upon us. Signs that Armageddon had finally arrived appeared everywhere, with the dead rising from the grave, sitting governments stealing MP seats from the opposition, and Scotland's most outrageous youths apologising when they were wrong. Tony Blair came back to life to tell people in Britain that Brexit was real and could be deployed within 45 minutes. Then Peter Mandelson surprised the world by taking to the screens despite him being cremated 3 times already, making him the Rasputin of modern day politics. But Shortwave spread around the globe when the usually mental fuckwit Jill Stevenson apologised for getting her facts wrong. Retired history professor and possibly the only person in the world that doesn't think Mary Black is fucking awesome, called Val McDermott two-faced for bigging up Scotland even though she doesn't live here, which is just not true. Stock markets plummeted. The Pope held emergency mass in St Peter's Square to try and calm people, with things only returning to normal after History Woman referred to independence supporters living in England as fuckers south of the border.
Guy, Blair and Mandelson have never actually died.
Well, they fucking should have. Where was I? The Sunday Times has gone breaking bad, with all of the front pages now being written by crackhead jakies. In the first of a new series, Dougie McWilliams, former senior advisor to George Osborne on where to get the best drugs, spoke about why he reckons Scotland will soon be a third world economy, something he's been predicting since the turn of the century when his drug habit first formed chugging Calpol. Next week they'll have in-depth analysis of the Middle East from Wendy, the meth-addicted prostitute. Polish Scotland are investigating the possibility the Labour Party may have been handing out free ecstasy at their spring conference in Perth, after vital evidence emerged that the whole weekend was a drug-fuelled illegal rave. We spoke to one member outside the conference. So, are you enjoying the conference so far? What's your assessment of Kezia Dugdale's leadership? Woo! Can you give me your thoughts on what Sadiq Khan had to say?
Mate. Those dog spot, mate. If you ever fucking see a mate Ginger, you fucking cut me, mate.
The big story of the weekend was Sadiq Khan, who took to the stage to public domains based in the place London. Cameron Mickelson of Polish Scotland said, "It seems pretty obvious that everyone in the audience was under the influence. After all, the only way people could possibly agree with the over-the-top havering from Khan, Corbyn and Dugdale was if they were all off their tits. If anyone has any information on who may have supplied the drugs, please get in touch with me, because I can't seem to get any good shit these days." Scotland is to get its own TV channel thanks to the unelected Lord Tory Hall. The new digital station will broadcast daily for 5 hours. We'll get 4 hours of shows about why Britain is great, and a 1-hour news programme which breaks down into 15 minutes of the same reheated carpet pizza that's distorting Scotland calls news, 30 minutes of football, 5 minutes of weather, and 10 minutes of Labour Party political broadcasts. The whole thing will cost 30 million. Frontrunners for the post of news director are John McTerrible, Dunce Bothersall and Blair McDougall. It should be up and running just in time for the next Indie Ref, and it will of course be fronted by Jackie Bird. I went to the press conference, not to hear what Tory had to say or to ask questions. I went to wait in the men's lavvy so that I could collect this. Now this is Tony Hall's shit. Now what he's done is to stick a bit of tartan on it, and then stick a thistle in it, and call it a jobby. Looks and sounds Scottish, tastes like Theresa May's arse. Because it's just more of Westminster's shit. The BBC has omitted, misrepresented, carefully edited, taken out of context, and in some cases blatantly falsified the information presented to us for well over a decade. And the only reason they would do this is either they are sloppy or they are deliberately trying to subvert democracy by misinforming the public. And I don't believe they're sloppy. A well-informed electorate is the foundation of democracy. But when Scotland says we deserve better, what do? They serve us another shit sandwich and expect us to say, delicious, what a chef. Dream on. Well, just enough time for a look at the weather. An air of self-righteous arrogance will drive across the country from the media, bringing small pockets of stupidity and ignorance. Occasional outbursts of desperation from red Tory nutjobs should see widespread outbreaks of hilarity, with tears of laughter becoming widespread across Scotland. So until next time, be fucking brand new like.
Hey, you dropped the Piers Morgan story.
Because it's not news, guys. Everybody knows he's a cunt.